thought I was going to be a teacher. I really did. My parents were educators, and I wanted to be a teacher simply because of the bulletin boards. I wanted to do a new bulletin board every month for the seasons. I know that sounds silly. I am the Director of Compliance for the agency, and that really encompasses all of those regulatory pieces, you know, things that state law, our own policies, federal laws that we have to be in compliance with. And then we adopted ACA within the last few years, and that is a part of my responsibility as well. And a lot of days I'm pulled in a lot of directions, and while they are similar in scope, they have their own nuances, and it's really, you know, I can get moving down one alley and lose sight, I'll say, of some of the others, and then I'll have to regroup and back up and change lanes. People interaction, problem solving. I just would like fewer problems, spread more apart. How about that? But you know, there's a puzzle kind of connection to some of what we do. You know, there's not always that quick fix answer, and it's about, you know, evaluating your resources and abilities and competencies throughout the state, and what's available, and how can we solve this so it works for everybody. I know, and I'd be lying if I said I had a great one. Fitness and eating healthy is one of the things that gets out of hand really quickly with me. I do make family time. You know, I've had periods over my career when I didn't, and that's bad. I mean, I really have to make time for family. I finished my education in the midst of my career as well, so I was a career woman, a mother, a wife, and a college student for a large part of my career. And every job I've had, you know, really has been in a leadership role and fairly demanding. So there was a long period of time I did not, and that supportive husband was the only way that I was able to do all the things I did. Once I finished my degree, you know, I really realized that I had to put more emphasis on family time. Work hard, you know, but keeping the balance. I am my own worst enemy, and it took me a long time to realize that. Set goals. Goal setting is very important, but enjoy the journey where you are today. I think living in the day and doing the best you can with what you have in front of you, doing the next right thing, building relationships, and not being afraid to build those relationships. You know, it's not just a woman thing. Everybody values relationships. And I have, you know, we've got, what, a body of around 14,000 employees, somewhere in that neighborhood. And I think of all the friends that I've got in this department and how valuable that is. I can pick up the phone and call people and talk through things, get information, you know, find out status of stuff, find out where needs are. And we just can't undervalue the importance of those relationships we build along the way. I think that there are some abilities I have and a personality type or whatnot that kind of puts me out front to be the leader. You know, before I had any leadership roles, people would gravitate toward me for leadership, look to me, because I just kind of naturally had a take charge attitude or personality with it. And then once I got into the business world, I mean, it was kind of a natural inclination. Of course, with the department, for me, once I got here and then having that strong desire, feeling like I could make a difference, I knew that the higher I went up in leadership, hopefully the more positive impact I could make on the agency. And I think that really drove my push to promote after I got here. There's a lot of things. Mentors, I have a couple of good mentors. I rely on friends. Refuse, I'm not a quitter. I think that, I am not going to be defeated. I'm not going to be defeated, and my team's not going to be defeated no matter what. We may have some tough days and some hard days, but take a breath, realize that this is in the moment, and sometimes put in a little distance, focus on something else for a second, and come back to the challenge and look at it through a different lens. But the drive to win and accomplish things and influence, having a positive influence. I have seen change, and it compounds. The more positive impact you see, the more it makes you want to make more positive impact. So I think it multiplies. It's a synergistic effect. I love it. There's no one answer for that. There really isn't. I probably pondered that question more than any of them on the list. And looking back, I was thinking that there were teachers that inspired me throughout my adolescence. My family, my parents, of course, had a huge impact and always encouraged me. So that provided inspiration. My mother was a very strong woman in her own way, or is. My husband, my 27-year-old daughter, inspires me daily. Watching other women in corrections and in business, but not only the women as leaders, but there's been just, a whole host of male counterparts that have been encouraging and grabbed my hand and pulled me up. So there's a lot of inspiration out there. The thing that inspires me is, and it may sound a little cliche, but helping others grow. Be kind to each other. Be kind to each other. I think that sometimes we feel like this is such a man's world still, and it still is to a degree. I mean, you see more women in leadership roles now, and that's a wonderful thing, and I'm glad to see it. But I think that we think that there are so few positions that we're all fighting for the same position, in a sense. And I think it's important that we be kind. Criminal justice reform was very timely. I am a proponent. We have to do more than warehouse people. I believe in people. I believe that people can change. And I think that as a system, we have to value that. Honesty, integrity, high ethics, transparency. I don't like fake people, and I will follow you if I feel like you're being genuine. Absolutely, every day, all day long, any opportunity I have. And you're right. I think that sometimes it's the ones you don't know, and realizing that in the position I am, there's a lot of people watching, and people I don't know that's watching are watching.